Good evening. Here's a piece of advice, ladies and gentlemen. Never start a piece of licorice just before you start a show. Sorry about that. Well, I hope everybody's okay. Hang on. There we go. I hope everybody's okay. We've got a packed show for you tonight. If everything else fails, I've got loads of videos. Lots of things happening. This week, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, it gives me the greatest of pleasure to tell you that Jeff is safely parked up. He's with us. He's here. Jeff, have you got to carry on driving when you finish the show tonight?
Yeah, a few hours. I have to be in Lenox, Kansas tomorrow morning. I don't know how in the world I'm ever going to make it, but that's the life of the trucker.
Another thing that Jeff hasn't mentioned there is that he's driving into tornadoes at the moment as we speak. About 100 miles away, are they?
Yeah, they were north of me. I think they're already past, but I guess Tulsa got hit pretty hard a few hours ago.
Yeah. We don't want you driving through that, my brother. We do not want you driving through that. So, thoughts with you. Hopefully everything's okay. Who have we got in so far?
Station Master's with us. He was the first one here. Hello, Station Master. We have Roland Barr with us this evening. He says, good evening. Mason Lawson. And, yeah.
And they're all having a chat. Good. Well, as I say, we've got a lot going on this week. What have you been up to the last, well, in your case, 4 weeks since we saw you, Jeff? What's been going on in your world?
Oh, we have some more people that just popped up. We have Andrew Graham with us this evening. Hello, Andrew. And we have Andrew Norris, who says, drive carefully, Jeff, keep the truck upright.
Yeah, keep the rubber down and the sky up, as they say.
Station Master says, can the rest of you hear?
I can hear everything. Can everybody hear me?
He says, sorry.
3, 2, 1. Say if you can hear me.
Roland Barr says yes.
Okay, and everybody can hear Jeff?
Yeah, Andrew Norris says, yes, I can hear.
Okay, Jeff's got a few problems with a speaker not working, so he can't hear me too clearly. So if I have to repeat myself, you'll know what's going on.
I'm in the process of changing phone providers.
Yeah.
And I have to say, the only glitch that I've had is that my button for my speaker to make it, room filling speaker is not in its usual place. Other than that, they have the world's best customer service. I'm changing providers. I'm going to Visible. I'm going to Visible.
Yeah. Okay, because you were Verizon, weren't you? But you're leaving that now.
Yeah, I think Visible is actually part of Verizon, but you get a whole lot more stuff and it's a lot cheaper.
Yes, we've got similar systems over here. I mean, that Tesco thing that I want to spit as I say the word Tesco. Oh man, it's the worst, horriblest, nastiest network I've ever been on. You get put through to an Indian call center. Now, I don't mind Indian call centers. I've been to good ones, but the bad ones where you got someone sitting like this. Good evening, sir. It is not on my computer, therefore it does not happen. It's like, oh, come on, look, I've been having, Jeff will tell you, I've been tearing my hair out for 3 months. My phone works on 3G all the time because that's all I can get off them. Oh, we don't do 3G, sir. Well, what's my phone doing on 3G then? You tell me. I haven't sent them pictures of my phone on 3G. Oh, no, we do not do 3G. Because they're also telling you that they're turning off 3G in the next couple of months. Where does that leave me? Oh, dear. I think companies that provide bad customer service like that should be taken out, publicly shot. I think there should be a huge fine. There should be a standard which customer service has to come up to. And all this, go through a robot to talk to a robot. No, that should be made. Hello, come on.
This Visible, I had a question for him and I went online and it said, do you want to join the chat? And I said, well, not really, but I will. I did it. They answered my question. It took like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I mean, they were. So, yeah.
It can be done. It can be done. We've got a network here my internet, I got really, really super fast internet here by a company called NetSpeed, local company, based in Bath. I had an issue this morning trying to set up. I've got a mesh system. I've done my garden recently. We'll go into that in another show, but my garden has gone from vegetation up to sort of shoulder height. You have to need a machete to get through to being a proper garden. So I figured, well, I might want to sit out there. I might want to be a human being and sit in my garden for once. I've never done it really since I've been here. But anyway, another story. And so I thought, well, I'll extend make sure my Wi-Fi goes out there. I've got an extra transmitter. So I rang them up today to try and connect it. I think the transmitter I've got is goosed, so we couldn't connect it. But the poor guy, he was trying everything, and he's 25 miles away in Bath. You know, it's a really good customer experience. And I said, look, I bet you wish you'd never got up this morning. He says, well, we've had lots of phone calls. So I says, but he says, I'm enjoying yours. So that's all that matters, because I went into it with a sort of, you know, I don't give a monkeys if this works or not. And it worked. Anything happening in the comments, Jeff?
We have Sweep the Cat with us, who just popped in. Hello, everyone. Sorry, for some reason, didn't get a reminder on my phone to say you were on, so I had to search.
Hey, guys. Sweet.
We're glad you're here. Before I forget, Emma Whitcomb usually listens to our show. She is someone that lives in Glastonbury, and her friend died. Her friend that she was very close with, and
neighbor as well.
It has really left her devastated. So, if she should happen to pop in, please, everybody, wish her the best. She really needs a little support right now.
Backing up, yeah. I did contact her today to see if she needed anything, but she said she's okay. She's bearing up. But if, like Jeff says, if she does pop up, you know, send her a few nice words. She'd appreciate that. I'm being bombarded by cat. So what have I been doing? Well, as you know, I went to the Netherlands last week. Ooh, was that good? Utrecht is just amazing. What more can I say? I was blown away. I was almost in tears having to leave the place to come home. I really was. In fact, as I left the station on the train to go from Utrecht to Amsterdam, where I picked my bus up, I was actually on my phone booking myself back into the hostel again. I'm going back in about 2.5 weeks. The week after the next show, I'm going back because the place is absolutely amazing. The people are amazing. Everything. I don't want to sound like a fanboy, but in the Netherlands, it's just people seem happier. They're lighter.
I seem to remember reading that town was on the list of one of the happiest places.
4th happiest town in the world to live in, apparently, according to the BBC. And I think they've got a point. I mean, the laughter. You'd be walking down the street, you'd hear laughter. You know, and people just looked happy. And when you need something, you ask. Oh, my word. In England, what do you want, mate? No, can't do that. It's not... Hello, come in, have some of this, have some of that.
I'll trade you anytime you want. I will trade you for the sunny disposition that the average Englishman has in comparison to what we have now, which is unhappy people.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's night and day. It's night and day between here and there. It really is. And cleanliness, litter. There's these little things going around picking the litter up all the time. You just don't see litter. It's clean. Everywhere in Utrecht, you've got loads of pedestrianisation. You've got a couple of big major roads that go through that do everything. But you've got loads of pedestrianised streets and you can't smell fumes. And it's just nice. I want to move there. I really do. Now, Sid, what are you doing?
Andrew Norris says we have 5G here in Croatia, but the quality is not as good as the old 4G. I think I could make that comment here.
I can speak to this. At the moment, there's very little pure 5G. What we've got is 4G in a bit, and they call it 5G. And 99% of the times, you're better turning 5G off and keeping 4G because it is faster, until you get into the big cities where they've got the actual proper networks. Because 5G works on a frequency that means you need lots of masts, lots of little masts. You'll see them on the buildings over shops when you're in town centres. And it works slightly different to 4G, but when you do get good 5G, believe me, it's fast. But most 5G, when your phone says 5G, you're better off turning it to 4G. It will be quicker.
We have the Wandering Ponderer with us. He just popped up. He says, "Hi, everyone. I'm a bit delayed. Give me a few minutes." He is in the process of a complete computer overhaul. Everything from soup to nuts. So he's probably going to be stressed.
Well, while we're waiting for Dave, why don't we have a video? Because I've got a pile of videos. I'm not going to offload them all onto you tonight because we've got other things to talk about. But, and this isn't Utrecht, I've got a film about Utrecht coming up later. We had a visit when I got back from Glastonbury, from Holland. I came home to a visit for some Maasai warriors. Now, they're currently, as we speak tonight, they're in the town hall with a civic reception, and there's all sorts of things going on there, which I sadly couldn't do because we were doing the show tonight. But I did get along to see them on Sunday, and I put a video out, and it's actually been quite popular. So here's a little bit of what went on when the Maasai warriors came to Glastonbury.
I would like to welcome the Maasai warriors to Glastonbury with a short speech. I hope you understand Swahili. Mabibi na bwana, ni heshima yangu kuwa kukaribisha nyinyi Glastonbury Maasai warriors. Glastonbury Maasai warriors kutoka Kenya. Nilizaliwa nchini Kenya miaka mingi iliyopita. Ni kwa hivyo ni furaha yangu kukaribisha.
Thank you.
Asante sana. That means welcome to the Maasai warriors from Kenya, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome them because I was born in Kenya. So a special welcome.
Thank you so much.
To the Maasai warriors.
Thank you.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. The Masai Mara Warriors. It was great to see them, and I actually got myself a little bangle. Apparently, they're made by the wives. All that beadwork, the wives sit at home making it, and that is some Masai Mara beadwork. Also, the last bloke you saw stand up there with the short hair and the jacket is the mayor's son. He's in his 20s, but he's got a very low mental age. And it was beautiful because one of the warriors went and pulled him out the audience to do the jump dance with him. And often he's held at the back and you don't see much of him. But to have him pulled out amongst onto the stage like that was brilliant. And that was the famous jumping dance which they do. Don't ask me, but apparently it can go on for ages with people joining in and seeing who can jump the highest. Jeff, you got a smile. Who's here? What's happening?
It's a black widow spider. He was just crawling across my window. I had to usher him out. I was trying to do it nonchalantly.
A black widow. Oh dear.
We have Jackie with us tonight. What did she say? Good evening, Gabriel and Jeff.
Hello, Jackie. Nice to see you here. Nice to see you here.
The Wandering Ponder says the battle is not over yet, Bernie. He's talking about putting his computer together. Yeah.
How is he getting on with that? Do we know, Dave? Tell us what you're doing. What are you up to? Yeah, because you were slowing down. Because Dave has just gone from another editor to DaVinci, which is
he's trying to adopt DaVinci.
Once you get there, it's worth the effort. I swapped in from, what was I using? I was using a crap copy of Adobe, whatever it is, their video, Adobe, the video thing, and I didn't like it. And then somebody said it's free, this new one, this one. So I tried it. It's actually used by the studios in America to do big films. I mean, the last Tom Gun, the Top Cruise, what's he called? Tom Cruise, Top Gun, the latest Top Gun was done. Avatar was all made using it. You know,
Speaking of which, Val Kilmer died today.
Yeah, and Val Kilmer died. That's sad, isn't it? Another one gone. The names that we grew up with are disappearing slowly but surely. Anybody else in the comments? Any other things before we move on?
Jackie says, I watched your video earlier, Gabriel. It was fabulous. What a privilege to have them performing in Glastonbury.
It was. I mean, I've never seen a Maasai warrior up close.
Andrew Norris says, what an extraordinary scene from the Glastonbury landscape. The Major certainly played his role beautifully.
The mayor, we are extremely lucky with our mayor. I've really enjoyed his year in tenure. They change around about the second Tuesday in May. They change at the they change at the town council meeting, and ours are the second Tuesday of every month. So until then, he's mayor. We've got Michael White next year. He looks a little bit like Father Christmas, little guy with big white beard. I did a video that's coming out on Friday about the market, and I've got the mayor and the deputy mayor with me. But here's a piece of news. Come to think of it, I spoke to the mayor today, and I asked him if he would come on our show, and he said yes. So before he no longer is mayor anymore, hopefully we'll get to see him. He's called Lokabandhu. He's a Buddhist, and he's taken on the Buddhist name of Lokabandhu, and he's a lovely man, born in Kenya, as he explained there. And he's been a really good mayor. He's joined in. He doesn't, he's not standoffish. We've been lucky to have him this year, I've got to say. And I say he's coming on the show in the not too distant. Before we go,
another person you talked to today that you invited on the show, were you going to disclose that now, or is that a surprise?
Yes, no, I'll tell everybody. My rather wonderful, gorgeous daughter, Laura, is coming on the show, hopefully on the next show. She is, you look at her and you think, no, that was the milkman, that wasn't Gabriel. How could he do that? But anyway, that's aside. You're going to meet my daughter. She has a lot of tattoos, and she is a beautician. She does nails like you've never seen before. She's an incredible nail artist. She does all this, what do they call it? Reconstruction. It's when they pump your face up. She's actually more qualified than a nurse to do injections and things. And Jeff is going to show you a piece of her artwork. That Mickey Mouse was hand painted. Back a bit, Jeff. Back. Take it back. Jeff, take it back. Back. To your, that's it. Stand there. That was hand painted by Laura. Because if you think about it, a watch face is the correct scale for somebody who's used to painting nails to work at. And it's not really doing it justice, but that actually is beautifully painted, that watch. And if you have a watch dial that you would like painted, I can put you in touch, because you will not be disappointed. So
I
we're going
love it.
we are going to meet Laura very soon. Now it's just going to work again. Let me have a look. That one's there. That one's there. This one, that one. Yes, there we go. Now I want to move on by showing you a piece of kit. Now, oftentimes you spend various amounts of money in a shop or online, and sometimes it comes into your life and it works and it's okay. But every so often, once in a while, something comes along and it's going to change your life forever. It's going to change the way you work. And I had one of those moments this week. This is my phone. It's an iPhone 16. I use it all the time as a backup camera. Quite often, if I'm walking into something and I need to film quickly, I'll film it on this. And you guys, you can't tell the difference between this and the camera we're filming with tonight. But normally, if you want to talk to yourself, you put the camera on like so, and you flip the camera around and you can see yourself. Here I am, there I am on the camera. But that has a very low resolution camera. Now, what if you could shoot out of the back camera and see what you're doing? Well, now you can. Look at that. That is the back of my iPhone. And can you see? Look, there I am on it. It is mirroring what I can see. So if I come here and switch this around so that I'm now shooting on the big lens that's looking to me, you can see here I am in the screen. So I can now line myself up and shoot on the good quality camera. Now this sticks on the back of here by magnets, but I could also take it off. So that means I can have the camera over here and I can still see what the camera's doing when it's looking at me over there. See, there I am on the screen. Look, absolutely amazing. You think, oh, that's probably a lot of money. 60 quid on Amazon. I can now shoot 4K selfies. Love it. And Jeff's got one as well now, because I'm sending Jeff one. Jeff's got a bigger one. It's got a bigger screen, but you can see that is just an amazing piece of kit and it just works. So there you go. I just wanted to tell you that because I'm so excited about it, because I'm sad, but bits of kit like that make a big difference. Jeff, over to you.
Sweep the Cat says, Gabriel, I must say I emailed you the other day. You have to forgive my voice. I emailed you the other day, but you didn't answer. I said I was wondering what was going on with the saplings for Merlin.
I've missed that email. I am terribly sorry. What's going on? Okay, quick update on Merlin. The picture is still being painted. Tommy is busy working on that. The saplings, I've contacted the person with them. I'm just hopefully waiting for them to come back, because I don't know anything about trees. What I know about trees, you could write on a postage stamp and still lick it. So the person with the saplings knows what they are, what you need to plant them in, blah, blah, blah. So obviously I'm working around them. As soon as I get the go ahead, sometime in the next week or so, it'll be on a Tuesday, on market day, and we'll put a little table up in the Abbey doorway where Merlin used to stand, because that's going to be opening soon. So we need to get in there before it opens. If we can't get in there before it opens, we'll stand next to it in front of the town hall. But we will be giving those away where Merlin stood. So that's
Andrew Murphy with us. He says, evening all. And Andrew Norris says, I love new bits of kit. Andrew, I found something that you will absolutely love. I was going to send it when I was home, and I didn't want it damaged in any way. So when I was unwrapping boxes and doing everything around the RV, I gave this thing to my sister and said, would you hang on to this, because I don't want it damaged. And I got busy and I forgot it. But when I go home, I have something that you are absolutely going to love. Don't you think, Gabriel?
Totally. Anything else in the messages, Jeff? I'll move on.
Tracy Murphy says hello, everyone.
Hey,
Tracy saying hello to everyone. That's pretty much it. I guess we're pretty much current. I wish
excellent.
that Emma was with us this evening. She could use a little being around happy people.
Yeah, hope she'll be here when she's ready to come on, I guess. Like I said, I messaged her today and got nothing back. Well, other than that, she's okay. I offered if you needed anything, and didn't hear. So sometimes people just need a little bit of time to sort of settle down, get their heads together before they're ready to communicate too much. I've come across that before. Right, I'm just gonna have a look. The visit. Oh, we've done that. That's the mural. Yes. Now, one of the things that came out of Merlin was we set up a GoFundMe, and that GoFundMe raised £1,600 plus in the end, which is quite a nice amount of money. Now, we gave £400 for the board and the paint towards the painting. I think that's going to be a large chunk of what it costs to do this, because Tommy, I have to say, the artist, didn't charge for painting, wouldn't take any money. So that's happening there. So that's 400. So that gives us about £1,100 in the bank. We're slightly over. Now there may be more costs involved in putting the thing together, and we're going to have a day where the picture is revealed. But there's going to be a chunk of money left over, and we're going to be putting something out soon, because what I intend to do is I intend to spend that money on goods for the fridge. But I'll come back to that. Dan, who you're going to see in a minute, you want to say something, Jeff?
Yes, it's time for the station master, his reminder.
Oh, is it that time already? Mr. Bernie, we really, really hope that you have remembered to take your pill. Hang on. Here it goes. Well, there you go. There's your reminder, Bernie. Take your pill. There's a good boy. You know, it makes sense. Where were we going? What were we talking about? I've forgotten. Remind me, somebody. What was I talking about? I know. It's written down here, so I'll probably remember it. Yes. Now, we were talking about the money with Race from Merlin. Now, as you know, Dan, who you're going to meet in a minute on the next video clip I'm going to show you, runs a shop called Rogues Gallery here in Glastonbury. If you've watched our videos before, you'll have seen him. And he painted another Merlin. It was a quick job out by Aldi. You've seen it's a wall that they paint frequently. And so the people who gave the money, I put it to them, can we give Dan £100 to cover the cost of his paint for that wall? Because a lot of people have started going out to that wall. It's the only Merlin picture there is, really. And he said he would reluctantly accept it because he didn't do it for payment. He did it as a personal thing he wanted to do, if he was allowed to use the money on another job. So basically, we gave £100 to Dan. Now, there's another character in Glastonbury who's died recently, a guy called Bill Knight. He was on the town council. I served with him. We sat next to each other on the town council. Lovely, lovely man. Really deeply loved Glastonbury. His family have run the fish and chip shop since 1905 or something. A heck of a long time they've run that chip, and it's still there. And he had this wall painted, on his wall, and there was a bit of a battle over it. The guys are going to come and tell you the story. The full video about it came out yesterday. It's on the channel if you want to hear the full story. But the guys are going to tell you how it came about, what it meant, and the fight that came for it. And it's 10 years old now, and it needs a bit of renovation. So the project that Dan's putting the money from Merlin into is to rejuvenating this wall, which, as you'll hear now, was a very, very important thing happening in Glastonbury 10 years ago. Let's have a look. Gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As you are well aware, I'm sure by now, Bill Knight sadly passed away recently. And we're at the mural in which he had great involvement, and I'm with Dan, who also had great involvement in that wall. Later on, we're going to have a chat with John, who was the other contributor to this, shall we say, initially. What's it like coming back after 10 years and painting more on the wall?
What's it like coming back? It's kind of been nice to chat to people as they've been walking by, some local and some like seeing it for the first time. I was saying to you a minute ago, Gabe, like there's certain colours in here that I remember us adding, like the red spring, we added a real opaque red and orange, and I haven't bought them, so I'm gonna have to bring them back like tomorrow to tidy that up. But just remembering all the little things that we did, like yeah, chatting to a couple of locals, they said that they always see something new in it, and you know, saying like Johnny's crystals, right, and how they frame it. But obviously, you know, the crystals and the new age thing in town is obviously real big. So they you know, they sit there real subtle and frame it really well, but at the same time, like everything in here was something that Bill, in a way, if not directly asked for. He was like, Glastonbury, like make it as Glastonbury as you can. The idea was drawn on the back of an A6 flyer with quite a tongue-in-cheek, you know, because Bill had said like, yeah, make it a really, you know, extreme Glastonbury postcard. And so we did, and we thought it would get shot down, and it didn't. Bill really liked it. So in the end, we ended up running with this quite exaggerated, you know, over the top piece.
And it actually changed during the painting process, didn't it?
Yeah, numerous times.
Different alleyways and rabbit holes we've gone down.
Yeah, there's this, there was a Lady of the Lake that Loveham was painting that, you know, got mixed reviews, and it really got in, I think it got inside Ben's head a little bit. You know, like so many, that was the first time I realized quite how many people have an opinion in this town before something's even 20% done. Facebook hadn't really got its claws in by now. No, like, and yet just people walking by, you know, so obviously a lot was positive, but you know, we definitely had mixed reviews.
The other person who was obviously very involved in this was the wonderful John Mason. Let's go over. I'm going to talk to John now and get his side of how this came about.
Cool.
Now, you and Dan, between you with Bill Knight,
Tommy and Johnny and Ben,
there
was 5 of us all together. So if you look right at the very top, you'll see you've got Loveham, BMK, JM, Sicko and Sim. That was the 5 of us that originally painted this. Now, this was actually in July this year. That marks the 10th anniversary. So this mural has actually lasted 10 years, but the story behind it was originally it was a plain green wall, and it kept getting tagged with obscenities, and Bill Knight was fed up with having to paint over it all the time. So he approached me and he said, would you be able to put something on there, it's a mural? And I said, well, I could, but I would rather get some friends of mine involved and make it a collaborative effort. And I got to speak to Dan, and we sat in one of the cafes and we sketched out roughly this on the back of a flyer. It includes all the aspects of Glastonbury, because he loved Glastonbury. He was a Glastonbury man through and through.
You cut, you know, a bit like Rock. He cut him in half and he said, Glastonbury.
So we had the name Glastonbury engraphed, and we had, you know, we've got the Tree of Knowledge, we've got Excalibur, the Lady of the Lake, we've got the Abbey ruins, we've got the Tor, we've got the Red Spring, the White Spring, you know, all the sort of main aspects of Glastonbury were in there. And we even decided to put a reverse rainbow in. When it was finished, the Bill was very happy with it, but unfortunately, somebody complained. All right, I won't
always one.
mention any names, but
No.
they complained to the district council, who then contacted the local council and asked if they had an opinion. And because nobody bothered responding to it, Mendip assumed that Glastonbury Council didn't have an opinion on it. So therefore, as far as they were concerned, it needed planning permission, and it wasn't applied for, so it had to be painted over. So Bill then applied for retrospective planning permission, and it was rejected. So he then appealed it, and this cost several £1,000s of his own money, and he lost the appeal. They said, no, it has to go, it's got to be painted over, we want it back to being a plain wall. It's in a conservation area, it's on a listed building, and I mean, to be fair, this particular wall is a former interior wall that has been badly rendered, because as the street you can see here, originally there were 2 cottages here that were demolished to make this road.
Yes.
So therefore that isn't an original exterior wall, that is a former interior wall. But what happened was the local council underestimated the town. And
They do that, don't they?
yes, and what happened was a petition was started. George from the chip shop, he started a petition, and I think they ended up with something like about 8,500 signatures on it to keep it. And we even had the local school children who all loved walking past it, protesting, and we had the BBC News and the local ITV News all came down to cover it. And with so much coverage, the council weren't prepared to give an opinion, so they turned around and said, well, tell you what, we'll review it in 3 years. And
That was 10 years ago.
That was 10 years ago, yeah. So this opened the floodgates for the mural trail.
Yes.
Because once the council had backed down and people were looking at it and going, wow, this is artwork, this is beautiful. It's not graffiti, which is vandalism, which is what a lot of people were under the impression that that's what graffiti art was vandalism. And then all of a sudden they were going, oh, hang about, go to Bristol,
It's everywhere.
they do bus tours. You know, so Kim Von Coles decided to grab the nettle, and she decided to start the mural trail, you know, and commissioning artists and getting people to get funding for it. And now Glastonbury has got works of art everywhere.
And it has. It has got works of art everywhere. In fact, we're the envy of a lot of towns. Glastonbury has more works of art on the wall per head of population than Bristol does, and Bristol is famous for its wall art. So yeah, that's the story of how it came about, and how a local prominent Conservative town councillor bucked the trend with the help of the townspeople of Glastonbury. What's going on in the comments, Jeff?
Ed popped in. Hi, sorry I'm late for the show. I think it would be fantastic to unveil the Merlin on Beltane Eve. There would be a lot of interested people in town to make a big show of it.
We did think of that. The trouble is, there are so many people in town, and you are going to have to try. If ever you've seen one of my videos, there's a shot where I pan up from the market square looking up the high street, and there are people from the bottom of the high street to the top. You can't see pavement, you can't see road. You wouldn't get everybody in there. So the decision was taken that we would try and get it up kind of the week before, maybe a couple of weeks before, because then people who want to can come and see it, and also Merlin will be looking down on what's going on. It's literally because of the site and where it narrows down into North Lode Street, it would be dangerous to have all those people trying to cram in there, and you'd get probably a couple of hundred that can see and a couple of thousand that couldn't. So that's why we can't do it, sadly. But hopefully it will be up on Beltane, so everybody at Beltane, and there are thousands, can come along and have a look at it themselves.
Alison O'Brien just popped in. Evening, Gabriel and Jeff.
Hi, Alison.
Sweep the Cat says, I sit and look at that when I'm in the middle. I sit and look at that when I'm in the Who'd Have Thought It pub. Brilliant picture, absolutely awesome. Best Sunday lunch I've ever had.
Yes, I think. Did I hear that who'd have thought it closed? I'm not sure. I think who'd have thought it closed. They did have a good reputation, and also to the left of the picture, across the road, you've got the Queen of Cups, where the lady that runs that has been on several MasterChef type programs. She's been on TV a couple of times, and makes amazing food. And now I've got to go in there and have a meal actually at some point. I've not really had a full meal since it opened.
We should encourage Allison to send us a video.
Yeah, absolutely. Always pleased. We've not had. Have we had a viewer send a video in yet? We've had the guinea pigs, didn't we?
Yeah, we've had a few, but she said she wanted to send another one in of her guinea pigs a while back.
Please do. The more the merrier. I mean, we would love you to all send your videos in. I play my videos out because there's no other videos to show. The idea is you guys can send your videos in, and then we can be showing your videos, which would be brilliant. Because a lot of my videos you can see on it anyway, because they're sort of edited versions of what I've put out live. And as most of you watch my videos anyway, a lot of these you've probably seen. So if you have got a video, anything, it can be 10 seconds long, 20 seconds long, it can be, not 20 minutes long, but it can be any length within reason. Send it through to me as an attachment to glastonburygabriel@gmail.com, and we will gladly show it along here. Jeff, anything else in the comments before I move on?
Sweet the Cat says no, it closed. It was a few months ago, but now new ownership.
Oh, that's really sad. Because they've been there quite a while. There's actually a phone box as you walk in the door. It's quite amazing. It's a nice place. It is a nice place. I have been in there a few times in the past. Right, so can we move on? Anything else, or shall I move on?
Move on.
Let's move on. Right, okay. I'm going to move on to something that's happening in town here again. We have a project here called Lost Projects. Now, Lost Projects is a bunch of guys and a sister who, between them, have managed to put together a project where they have an indoor skate park, and they bring kids along from 2 or 3 years old, and where they're properly taught and encouraged to skate safely. And there are kids in there doing things that would kill me if I even tried to do them. Very impressive what they do down there. And we're very lucky to have it. But they're branching out. I should say that the sister of one of the guy I'm going to interview today runs the coffee shop. And if you're coming to the medieval fair, which is in a couple of weeks' time, do by all means go along, find the lady doing the coffee. That lady's name will be Kate. Say hi, tell her you're from the channel, and buy a coffee from her. She'll look after you.
You want a Milky Way.
Tell her you want a Milky Way, because she now knows how to make Milky Ways. She also now has all the ingredients to make them, including some of the finest chocolate syrup you will ever taste in your life, and some of the finest caramel for that matter. She knows how to use it. So yeah, I'll be talking about that at the next. I'll be talking about that in the next show, because that will have happened by the time we do the following show. I come back from Utrecht on the Saturday around about lunchtime, and I'm straight over the fence into the Abbey filming for the rest of that day and the day after. So yes, it's not far off, and it's a great fun day out. So if you're coming that day, also look for me. I'll be running around. If you see me, come up and say, "Oi!" I'm always happy to see people. Even if I'm interviewing somebody, obviously don't. But if I'm just filming, just come up and say hello. I'll stop and shoot it again. I don't care. But yeah, come up and say hello. Now, the reason I was talking about all of this is because this project now is building a boulder wall. Now, you've probably all seen these walls that you climb up in gyms and stuff. Well, a boulder wall is similar to that, but it has these little boulders and you kind of grip onto them. Now, there's bits of it you'll see go straight up, and there's a bit of it that's got an overhang. And I was looking at this, and when they were building it, I helped them a bit. And I looked at the overhang and thought, oh, I'll be able to whiz up there. But now it's got the boards on it, and you stand under it, and you look up, and it's above you, and you think, uh-oh. Because the idea is that you literally are grabbing on with one hand, you're grabbing on with the other, you're gripping with your feet, and you're hanging backwards. Now, they don't have ropes. The climbing walls I've seen before have got a guy stood at the top with a rope, and if you fall, you kind of swing out into the air, and they let you down gently. No. Boulder walls, no man with ropes, just a ceiling. You fall off, basically. What they have is this super duper mat that you land on. It was the most expensive part of the project. Anyway, I'm going to let them talk about it because they're probably far more eloquent and interesting than me. So let's see what they've got to say. Welcome back to the channel. I'm back at Lost Projects again. I love coming to this place. It's amazing. I've come because we thought it'd be a good idea to give you a bit of an update on where we are with the boulder wall, because that's coming along quite nicely. Now, if I swing my camera to the left, look at it now. Now, there's a link, there's a description below to the last visit we had here. But as you can see, lots happening now. Let's go find Andy and find out what's going on. So here I am back at Lost Projects with the ever wonderful Andy. We've come down for an update on the amazing boulder wall. What can you tell us, bro?
We painted it with a grit coat, and we're now refitting it, and it looks completely different.
And of course, the all-important bit you bounce off, that's coming soon.
The matting, yeah. So the safety matting has been ordered. We held off because it's the most expensive part of it. So that should be in the next fortnight. And yeah, hopefully that'll be down by the end of the month. We're aiming to get it completely constructed by the end of the month, and then we've just got insurance tick boxes to go. This is the first time we've done anything with climbing. Obviously skateboarding was all new to us when we did that, so we're
Quick learners.
We've become accustomed to jumping through hoops now. Yeah, so as soon as we've got a completion date and insurance, we will be posting on our social media. I'm sure Glastonbury Gabriel will be as well.
Oh, I will be all over it.
And we'll keep you updated.
Fantastic. I've just got to say, a facility like an indoor skate park in a town is one thing, but to have a boulder wall as well now, that puts us on the map, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is it. I mean, the closest from here, maybe 45 minutes. So yeah, what we're really trying to add in is, extra bits and bobs in Glastonbury that would save people travelling, because at the end of the day, no one wants to travel an hour for an hour's climb and an hour back.
No. Well, there you go. That is it. That is opening. When's that opening? That's opening very soon, within the next couple of weeks. So I'll be going back down there to see them. I've got Sid come to see me. Hello, Sid. And to see how they're getting on. Jeff, anything in the comments? Because we're actually coming to the end of our hour already.
Friday is Allison's birthday, so we want to wish her a happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Alison. Don't ask me to sing happy birthday. You don't want to hear my singing voice. It's not good.
She says, I still feel young at heart.
So do I. It's weird as you get older, your brain doesn't age. Everything around you ages. You grow wrinkles, you change, you slow down, but your brain is still 15 years old and wanting to have adventures. I know mine is. it didn't get the memo about growing old. Who else is there, Jeff? Anything else going on?
Station Master says, I worked in London during those times. He's talking about the 60s. Bought my sheet music from Tin Pan Alley. Regularly saw Stanley Green, the Passion Protein Man. Free concerts at the Marquee.
The Marquee. Oh man, I've been to the Marquee a few times. It was one of our music venues. Everybody's played the Marquee at some point. Everybody going back. Most of them are 80-year-old men now, but you know, it's a rite of passage playing the Marquee Club, and all the punk bands played there.
Jackie's talking about the Rockwell. She says, amazing people, a lot of hard work gone into that project. Wishing them every success to all involved.
Me too. And I mean, it's the kids locally, you know, we've got a skate park. Your standard, everybody's got the concrete skate park somewhere. It's out in a part of town that's a little bit salubrious, like most skate parks. And it's okay, but it's unsupervised. You know, if you want to go there and learn, all the big boys are doing all the stunts. And if you're a newbie, it's probably not easy. Whereas at Lost Projects, you go in and there's people there who can show you how to use the equipment, that can provide you with equipment. You know, they can rent you the elbow pads, the helmets, and even the board, and show you how to use it. And I think with the rock climbing as well, I think they're going to get a lot of kids in there who maybe decide that they want to take that route. You know, who knows? This could be the incubus of, you know, a future champion. Who knows? You just don't know. But to provide it in the first place, I think is admirable and excellent, and they're doing a brilliant job.
Hello Kitty just popped in, saying hello to everyone.
Hello.
Andrew Norris is saying good night.
Oh, good night, Andrew. Yes, it's time to drift off. We'll come to a close in a minute. Jeff, what have you got lined up for the next week? Have you got anything planned?
No, I'm going to go home again in May. I have a billion projects to do when I go home this next time. One of the other things I forgot to do is I have some clock parts that I need to send the Wandering Ponderer. The weather is changing here. That's why I'm itching my nose. Well, I have flowering dogwood everywhere here.
And that disagrees with you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've had some really good weather. March has been one of the driest Marches for quite a long time. We are way below our normal rainfall for this month, and it's continuing. Here in the southwest, we've got a rainy day tomorrow, but the rest of the country is still dry and blue sky. And then we, on Friday, are supposed to be the warmest part of the country with blue skies again. So who knows? Who knows?
I'm in Denison, Texas right now, and it's 85 degrees out there. Ooh. And 600 miles north in Fargo yesterday, they were having a blizzard.
Yeah. It just shows you. See, that's one of the things about America. I mean, if you don't like the weather, get in your car and go to where you do like the weather. I mean, you could drive from one end of the country to the other end here, and it still be shit. But you can drive from snow to sun in a couple of hours over there, can't you? Sometimes.
Yeah, I've done it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, look, it's 9 o'clock. We're rolling things up now. Next week, I've got a few bits and pieces on. I'm mostly Glastonbury based. To the Friday, I think I've got to go to London to pick a watch up. I may disappear off and do something in the next week or two, but my next big adventure is going to be on the 21st of this month. I get on a coach and I go back to Utrecht again. And I'm going to Utrecht as a base because I'm having a day out. Wednesday the 23rd of April, I am doing something that I have wanted to do for such a long time. I am going by train from Utrecht to Wuppertal to see the monorail that runs through there, 13 kilometers long monorail. So I've got a date for it. Roland, if you're around and you can make it that day, do get in touch and let me know. But yeah, on the 23rd of April, I will be going to see the monorail at Wuppertal, and I'm excited. But yeah, so on that note, I think we'll call it a day. I'm not going to show any more videos because it will just run on and on and on. I'd like to thank everybody for coming along and watching the show. It makes it worthwhile just to have you guys there while we're nattering away and just talking complete whatever it is we talk. There's Poppy the cat again. But yes, so I will say goodnight. Jeff, do you want to say goodnight?
Good night, everybody. Thank you for everyone that thought about me when I wasn't feeling good. And yeah, we'll see everybody again in a couple weeks.
Yeah, look forward to it. But for now, good night and thank you, everybody. Good night.